Hey, what's up, you guys? So today we're going to be doing Sun in the sign of Leo. What, you got a problem with my hat? Shut up! So what up, y'all? Today we're going to be doing Sun in the sign of Leo. And again, what happens when Sun comes on the sign of Leo in your horoscope? What is the sign of Leo? Sign of Leo represents regalness. It represents confidence. It represents dramatic arts. It represents performing arts because Leo is represented by the lion, meaning that when the lion walks into any dull room, everything lights up and everybody looks at the lion. Okay, so that's what Leo represents. So Leo represents cinematic drama. It represents political arena, because being in politician, it's like you gotta be a rogue lion in order to win that. You gotta go out there and give the most dynamic, roaring lion-like speech. All right, so that's what Leo represents. Then you bring in Sun here. Sun is what? Well, first of all, Sun is the ruler of the sign of Leo. Okay, so this is his home. And Sun itself represents everything that I just talked about with Leo. And on top of that, it represents your self-confidence, represents your ego, represents your self-esteem. Sun is the significator of your work. Okay, Sun is also represents your father and how your relationship with the father is, what your father is doing in your life. So it presents all that. And then Sun is obviously represents government. You're dealing with the government because Sun is the king. So king in nowadays represents kingdom. And what is kingdom? That's right. It's government. Okay. Although it's becoming a tyrant government now, instead of like a checks and balance here, but hey, welcome all kinds of era, that's what I'm saying. So yes, Sun in the sign of Leo. What happens? Well, the first thing that happens is that these people are very comfortable and confident with themselves. They have a very balanced self-esteem. They know who they are. They know what they have to accomplish, and they know how they have to behave out in public. But the thing about the sign of Leo is it's a regal sign. It represents regalness, meaning that whenever there's a planet in Leo, it wants to feel regal. It wants to feel important. That's what pretty much I'm trying to say. It wants to feel needed, important, and admired. And so when Sun is here, it's like Sun is in their own house. It's like me here in my own house. I'm just comfortable. I'm wearing like a little crazy lion hat. I'm just like comfortable. Hey man, I'm the king of my castle. And that's what Sun becomes. But the problem here is that it can exaggerate too much of these qualities. Like Sun will demand respect from others in Leo. Sun would hate to listen to other people. It's like, imagine, this is my house, Leo. I'm the lion. I'm the sun. I'm the king. I'm the big kahuna. But then somebody comes in and says, hey, these are your policies of the way you're going to live in your house. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You're like, dude, get out of here. This is my house. That's what happens. Sun becomes a bit of an arrogant personality here. They do not like to take orders from others. They do not want to listen to others. They're very independent because Leo is a sign of independence. And Sun is a significator of independence. So these two, when they mash in, it becomes too much of confidence, too much of independence. Like women with these kind of Sun become one of those women who are like, no, you're not going to tell me as a husband what to do. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. This is my life, blah, blah, blah. And they live like this roommate kind of a relationship. Like, I don't know if any guys out there who have girlfriends or wives with Sun and Leo, it becomes that roommate kind of relationship that, hey, you need to take care of your stuff. You need to do this. You need to do that. And if you admire them, they love that. But they don't want to admire back. They don't want to do anything in return. They just want to receive that. They become the receptor of all the admirable, notions in the world. So in a way, it's a very comfortable spot for Sun. Sun can glorify himself in theater arts. Sun can glorify himself in political arena. But the thing is, there's little sympathy for the other person and what they're doing to you. Like if Saturn aspects the Sun or Saturn sits with the Sun, then what happens is these people will be too confident and they will be too strict. See, whenever Saturn comes into play, they become very strict. Okay, I'm working, no play, working. Where if it was Sun by himself in the sign of Leo, he'll be like, hey, I'm the man. I can work whenever I want. I can do anything where I want, And so you got to see what's happening with the sun as well. Here's the thing about sun in Leo. When I talk about you have to look at the dispositor of the planet. So if sun in Cancer, I did previously, you have to look at moon. Well, when sun is in Leo, you don't have a dispositor. You have sun himself sitting in there. But what comes into play now, okay, are the degrees of where sun is, who is in conjunction with sun, and who aspects the sun. Like if sun receives an aspect from Jupiter instead of Saturn, then what happens is this becomes a very very dignified personality. They're not only able to be confident and give that sheer self-confidence to other people and perhaps even direct them and order them around, but with the sense of Jupiter, they become preachers and teachers. They kind of teach you, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you're going to go. This is how you're going to do things. And that's how they become a bit more calm. They become a bit more optimistic, and they become like the teacher, natural teacher. But again, that dynamic sense of sun is still there, So that's what you got to pay attention to. And these are some of the things that most of the astrological books and astrologers don't talk about, that your sun sign is not just your sun sign, okay? Your sun sign is not just like a planet going around the sun and then you become this personality. No. Remember, sun is only a part of your personality. You have to look at your ascendant, the rising sign. You have to look at the placement of the moon, which is your mind. And then the sun. Because sun is part of the karka of your personality. It's a significator of your personality. It's not the whole thing. You see, it's not this whole bottle. If this is a personality, sun is probably this outer shell, this thick shell. But then you have the ascendant, the cap, and then you have the liquid material in there, which is the moon. So this becomes this nail polish remover. No, it's not mine. But it's my wife's. But that's how you judge a personality. It's a three-dimensional thing. It's a three-dimensional art. You can't just rely on one aspect and say, I am total Leo. No, you may not be total Leo. If Ketu sits with the sun, okay, then there is lack of confidence. You run away from becoming that center of attention. Ketu provides this subtleness of being like a lost boat in a sea. Like you have the sun in Leo, but you don't know who you are. You just cannot figure out part of your personality, which is like this outer shell of yours. So one thing to remember, these are very independent personality. They hate taking orders. They're better off in they're doing their own business than even working in a government or working in some corporation. They have to be their own boss. Unless, of course, they work somewhere as an independent contractor. They have their own hours. They have their own, schedule, and they do things at their own time. Only that's when it works. And since sun represents the father is also a very independent personality. He's like wants to be the leader of anywhere he goes, including the home. He wants to be that big kahuna. He wants you to live under his regime, live under his kingdom. And he's also a very business-like personality. He's a very, he could be a salesman, he could be in business. As much as people think that sun in Leo will bring about a government worker as a father, that's not necessarily the case unless sun is in the 10th house from the ascendant. But in any other house, it brings a very independent nature of the father, and father doesn't like taking orders. And working for government, meaning that you have to take orders, okay? You have to abide by their rules. So you have to see all of these things when, judging your sun, all right? So guys, this was my analysis of sun in the sign of Leo. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your sun is placed and what aspect and conjunction it has, so you can see what your father is doing, like you already don't know what your father is doing, check out the link below. Check out my books there, Astrology at the Speed of Light and Conjunctions at the Speed of Light. And when you get these books, I will send you the link to look at your own charts. Just make sure you follow the directions below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.